I'm not familiar with Clay Wilson's book.
What's that?
I'm not familiar with that book.
Oh well, you're not as old as I am. It's like if you want to talk about are underground comics bad, it's like yes, there are definitely bad underground comics. What are the absolute morally, ethically worst underground comics? And they're definitely S. Clay Wilson's. And if I had to rank S. Clay Wilson's work for the opposite of benign or beneficent, Captain Piscoms would be right up at the top of the list. So I think that, and this is again just my opinion. Again, we're just listening to a pointy-headed cartoonist's opinions about things. It's got nothing to do with reality, or it does. Now, that was something very insightful that I just said there, or that was completely pointless. There would be any number of better uses watching paint dry instead of listening to Dave Sim talk about this stuff. We won't find that out until Judgment Day. I definitely won't find that out until Judgment Day. I think my best advice to you, Steve, would be if you are concerned about it, then just have Ying Star say that he believes in God in one of the panels. Just throw away a panel and have Ying Star say, it's his most valuable possession and the thing that is the most important thing in his life is his Bible. Now, if that gets into an interesting area because I suggest that, and if you look at that and you go, Ying wouldn't say that. Well, okay, now you've got a different kind of problem, which is you've created a character who is unable or completely unwilling to be a servant of God, a devout monotheist. I can certainly relate to that. I got a lot of characters in that 6,000-page graphic novel, and a lot of them, there's just absolutely no way that they would ever be monotheists, probably would never read a Bible, and certainly would not respond to a Bible in any way that I would consider positive. There you go. But that's something for you to decide and something for you to know and make your decisions about it. Can you override what you know to be Ying Star's nature as a magical Chinese dragon and just say, no, in terms of how dangerous I think a magical Chinese dragon might be to my soul and to my relationship with God, I'm just going to override it and, sorry, Ying, you're going to talk about how important the Bible is to you in this panel here. It's just one panel. It's just a throwaway. Anybody reading the comic book can just go, oh, that's a little weird, but okay, now he's back talking about Star Trek and Deep Space Nine and all of that stuff. So no harm, no foul kind of thing.
Okay. Well, there you go, Steve.
There's your answer from the pointy-headed cartoonist, what he would consider his best opinion on that subject. And I have to say that I do recommend Subspace Chatter number 2, which is, I think, Steve's latest that has actually come out, the Trek versus Wars. And it's just chock-a-block full of stuff that I have absolutely no knowledge about. I know absolutely nothing about Star Trek except the first series, and I know very, very little about Star Wars. But it's just interesting actually sit down and do comics about individual episodes of Star Trek and movies, the Star Wars movies, and put all of that time into that. I wouldn't call that a best use. I would say you could probably get more value out of reading John's Gospel aloud, however many times you put in those hours at the drawing board. But in terms of a really good comic book and a comic book that is very, very benign and good for kids, I can't see anything in any of Subspace Chatter number 2 that would upset even the most paranoid helicopter parent. So heartily recommended, always heartily recommended. Of course, once the kids read it and go, wow, this is really good, is there more of this? Then you go back and read Steve's older work with Magic Mushrooms